Okay, so we are live. So hello everyone. Today is 8 August 2024, and I welcome you all to today's Meshery CI build and release meeting. So I will let me tell you what we do in this meeting. We actually discuss various features, bugs, and updates on CI and CI area of Meshery and release part of the Meshery. So what actually Meshery is. Meshery is a cloud native manager which helps you to manage your cloud native infrastructure collaboratively and helps you to manage multi-cluster management and other many things that you can easily explore on docs.meshery.io. And I will encourage you to do so. So before the starting, we do have a couple of housekeeping items. One is to make sure that you add your names in the attendees list. And the second, I will share the link of the talks in the chat so that you can add your names. And the second is we always encourage newcomers to introduce themselves. So if you are joining this meeting first time, you can unmute yourself, give a small introduction, anything, maybe what's your name, where are you calling from, and what interests you, anything, yeah, like maybe what colors you like. So let me tell you, I'm Yash. Today's host is Ozair. He will be joining in 5 minutes, so he will take over after that. So my name is Yash. I usually contribute in the part of backend and front end, and yeah, I'm contributing here around since 2 years now. So, is there anyone who is joining today's meeting first time and would like to introduce? I think Jaran, this is your first time joining the Mystery CI meeting, right?
Yeah, I think it's my first time now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you would like to give a small introduction.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaran from Indonesia. Um, if you like football, I'm also like Man United. So yeah, that's from me. So it's first time I'm contributing to the CI as well.
Thank you, Jaran. Thank you. Thank you for joining us today. Um, John, maybe you would like to go next and give a small introduction. In case if you are not able to unmute yourself, you can always introduce yourself in the chat. Okay. Yeah, John, you can go.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, my name is John. I'm from Kenya. Yeah, I just started contributing to the Meshery, mostly in the layer 5 repository, but yeah.
Oh, great. Nice to have you, John.
Yeah, thanks.
Devish, maybe you can
Hello.
go next. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Devish.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah. Hi. So I'm Devish, and I'm sort of I'm currently a researcher at a sort of university, and I'm kind of interested in the CI end-to-end test project at the moment. So I've kind of set up the Meshery uh, repository at the moment, but I would also like to sort of have some directions on how to go about and what to focus on the end-to-end tests and so on in general. So yeah, thanks a lot.
That's great, Devish. We do have a couple of agenda items regarding E2E test today. We will be surely discussing on that, and maybe you will get enough idea and how you can start contributing and learn more about it. So we'll sure discuss on that. I think Fiona, maybe you can go next.
Hi,
Hey,
my name is Fiona. I am from Kenya. I'm currently a fourth-year student, and I am an intern at IBM Research Lab in Nairobi. And I've been looking for a project to contribute and improve my skills. And mostly, I've been working with Python and Helm and Kubernetes. So, yeah, I joined this meeting to see if I can have an issue to work on and understand more about Meshery. I have tried to create some designs on Meshmark, and yeah, I'm still trying to understand everything. Thank you.
thank you, Fiona. Thanks for joining us today, Shirley. Is anyone left? Ayush, maybe you would like to go next? Okay. So I think he might be not able to unmute himself. So if anyone want to, yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Hello, my name is Samuel. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya. I got to know Meshery and Layer 5 through the Linux Foundation. I was as a I'm currently still trying to learn the repositories and see if there are issues I can contribute on. So I joined this meeting, hopefully to understand the project better.
Thank you, Samuel, for introduction. Thanks for joining us also today. So let's jump to the agenda items. So we have first item on call for volunteers and open items. So maybe Uzair, you would like to give a more, yeah.
So basically, so as you know that Meshery is a CNCF sandbox project, and so there is a criteria about like how the projects are evaluated by CNCF, and the CLO monitor is one of the checks that they use. So this is the like guideline for like how much score Meshery has. So out of 100, now it has like 83, and all this score depends upon how many check marks that we have. So for example, like this one summary table. So there is like readme.md file, and uh, like how well the release versions and the other stuff for machine, like what features and the different release version, the change log are like accurately documented. This summary tables looks upon that. Similarly, there is one related to some security checks and code review. But for this CI meeting, I would like to like point out on this one, this security insights and signed release. So every time we make a machinery release, there is a workflow that kicks off. And so in this .github/workflows folder, we have different workflows. Basically, the one I'm talking about is like build and release edge releases and stable releases. So in this workflow, we like as we release Meshery, there are a few artifacts also created, which is, for example, like Meshery CTL. Then there is some changes inside docs and everything. So whatever artifacts that we produce are like not signed or not cryptographically signed. So this is regarding like this is one such point that the build and release workflow needs to be improved upon. If we want to like check what you need to actually do, or what are the steps that need to perform so that we can get past this check. So like here is the recommendation page about the best practices for this particular check. And similarly, there are like many other uh, points. For example, yeah, dependency policy. So if you are aware of Golang or UI, so we have a dependabot configured, but most of the time like those PRs are like not properly reviewed or like directly closed or directly merged. So yeah, for example, this is the PR created by dependabot, and similarly we have for Meshery UI npm packages. So yeah, so basically the ask is to take one or the other issues that are cross marked and read the documentation and try to improve our build and release, and basically improve this Meshery CLO monitor score. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. But yeah, that is the overall crux of the issue. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. I will reshare my screen. If you have any if you have any questions and if you want to raise your hand for that issue, you can always do that in the meeting or in the Slack channel also. Okay. So we have next item from Senthil. Senthil, would you like to go next and share about this?
Yeah, sure. Actually, one of the problem is like whenever I try to set up the E2 test using Playwright, the test credentials are fails. And if anyone wants to contribute to the E2 test, then they have to enter their own credentials. Then only we can able to simulate the sorry test the E2 test. So that's the one issue. And the second one is I have refactored the existing E2 test with the BDD approach, which is behavior driven development, which means let's say whenever a new contributor visits the E2 test, then they can see like when I visit the provided page and the code will be more readability. And same the advantage is like whenever test fails at a particular step, then we can identify which step has been failed. Yeah. But Tarun said like this approach will be expensive, so I'm not sure about this. I have to test compare the existing one and the new approach.
Any
Yes,
review there or Jaren?
sorry.
I'm asking for review from Uzair or Jaren if they have.
Basically, I'm not that aware about this area. Jarens, do you have any pointers for Sento?
Yeah, I already tried the release it's filing on the CI, right? And I also tried and give a hard error on that, but it's always passed. I don't know why. But it's already get the error on the CI.
Okay, so like, have you guys tried the workflow that is present inside Meshery extension packages? So Meshery extensions is another repository which uses Playwright test, and like the Playwright test in that repository have been passing, and there is no such issues of like failed at authentication step. So I will drop the link of like the workflow that we use, and maybe we can update the uh, workflow inside Meshery repository to use the exact same workflow. Maybe that can help.
Okay, so I think regarding one more thing, which was you were discussing something with like authentication step. I think Jaren, you recently created a new post on Discuss forum in which you well explained, I guess, how to set up a E2E test in local environment, right? So those
Yeah,
things are covered in that post.
yeah,
Okay. It would be nice if anyone gets the issue, we can share that post with them. Okay, so we have next item from Krish and Joseph. So anyone can go ahead.
Do we have Chris on the call?
I
Yeah, I
don't
guess
think
so.
so.
Okay. So Meshery, uh, along with like different integrations, as also utilizes OPA policies. So OPA policies are the way like how we evaluate relationships. So what are relationships models that have been like many times explained on the Meshery dev call, and we might find the recording and inside Meshery docs that what are relationships and what are policies and how the Meshery's evaluation engine works. So those policies are like Rego files or written inside tech.rego file, and we are like need of adding checks so that like we can verify that okay, if there is something some policies or some rules inside policies changes, we are able to verify it, and we are sure that okay, this doesn't break anything. And as similar to like how we have Golang CI lint workflow that lints the Golang files, the server and machine SQL files to check that if there is any non like some good practices are not being followed or similar cases. So similarly for OPA policies or RECO policies, we have this Regal tool. So the ask here is to like incorporate this Regal tool inside Meshery build workflow. So if someone is like understands like how to write GitHub actions, this can be a like very easy or like very uh, good for like first timers. So I will share the links or like where you can find the more information about how to set up Regal as a CI process. So this is one such thing. And so this is the workflow that I was talking about. So the Meshery, we have this Golang unit and integration test, and inside this, like we have a step for like Golang CI lint. Similarly, we need a step for linting the Go policies. So the workflow that needs to be changed is this one. Inside the Meshery UI server, as we build the server, afterwards a new step needs to be added. For example, like yeah. Okay, this is the test, and after now here we are building the UI, and after we have like built the UI or build the server, doesn't matter. But after ensuring that okay, server and UI are completely built, a new step needs to be added, which will link the legal policies, and the CI should fail, or the workflow should fail if there is any error reported by the regal CI. If anyone is willing to contribute, they can take this. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Zeb. Can you share my screen? I think we have next item from Vivek, but he's not on the call right now. So we will circle back if he joins. Next item we have from Shivam Garg. I will quickly check if Shivam is with us today.
Yeah, I'm there.
Yeah,
I
sure.
just
Mhm.
shall I share my screen?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Actually, I'm facing the issue with the screen. Can I just say it like out loud over here?
Sure, no issue. If you're facing any issue, you can provide any. Should I go to this link that you provided?
Yeah. Yeah, this is the issue which I like was working on since like 2 or 3 days. But today I merged a VPR. Then Sudhanshu sir mailed me and said that we like author name would be mine in this particular issue when I'm getting the block file.
Okay, so I think you're working on blog, right?
Yeah.
Uh, I wonder if I think this is too old issue. I think it would be nice if we discuss this in the website meeting. It's
Okay.
more related to that. Is there
Okay.
any, do you wanna discuss any PR that we have merged, or do you want to clarify something?
To clarify something that only like how should I like what all the information should I take it from? Because when I merged it today, so he mailed me and said that that I have to use my name in this particular thing, and moreover I have to use the exact content which I've used for the particular blog. And he's saying that we have to use some a blog's path for this particular merging. I hope you can understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay, so I will ask you or encourage you to start the conversation in the website channel in Slack and
Okay.
text Sudhanshu for that if you have any question, I guess, because this is more of a website issue. So
Okay. Thank you so much.
thank you, Shravan, for adding this issue. Shlok, I think you can go next on your model import and export update.
I was building. Can someone go next? I can go after.
Sure. We will circle back to it. Then I will go. The new other item is from me and Uzair. So I will go next and will share about this update. So add build checks for Meshery schemas record. So I will give a small introduction what actually is Meshery schemas, and so then we have a different various projects, and we created this schema record to make those project and this server schema driven. By schema driven means we will be have a single source of truth for the schemas, and we will be auto generating the structs from them. This will ensure that servers are schema driven. So whenever we will make any change or add any schema, it might be chances that the project or it affects the project which is using this schema repo. So our task or ask is to add the or our you can say that our plan is to add the GitHub action which will ensure that the projects which are using schemas repo are building successfully to ensure on any update they don't get failed, because right now on any pull request we raise we don't get that update, and it might be chance on new release the server and whatever version it is using, the other project might fail. So I think this is the task in which we will be ensuring that in the GitHub action in which we will be ensuring the project, we will be checking out the project and we will build them in the GitHub action and then run the available test. This will ensure that that project is not failing. I think this is all, and we are planning to do that. So this is an in progress update from me and Uzair. So Uzair, would you like to give any more update in case I have missed something?
No, I don't have anything else to add. You covered it all, I think. Maybe you can also share the effort that you are working on, that how we are tracking to migrate Meshery server to be schema driven. And both the parts, like Meshery UI part as well as Meshery schema, Meshery server part.
So one of the part of making sure that Meshery server and other projects are schema driven is to make sure they are following standards of API. And so I created this design spec in which I documented all necessary things to make sure that Meshery server follows these API standards. And this will be the part of API schema, because these standards will affect how Open API and Swagger schema we are using. And this will ensure that the remote provider server and other projects are consistent with their APIs and the Swagger API we are using. So we also generate, so yeah, so I have wrote the proper documentation and got some reviews also. I will incorporate them. I will share the link with this too, so that you can give a read for this too if you have any review. So this part will ensure that we are having the consistent APIs, and after that we will have this will after that we will this will ensure that the open API schema that we have in the schema cycle is consistent across the projects, and we can start building API docs for them, which will be common or single source of truth for all the projects which are using this. And we can start using the RTK query. So we in the UI part, we use the Redux RTK, which takes this open API schema and auto generate all the APIs in the front end. So I think I hope you're getting what I'm trying to say is this schema will be a single source of truth for every cross for the projects, both server and UI. So this is the part of effort we are trying to do. And let me know if anyone have issues, because this is going to be a big migration, and I will create many subtasks if you want to contribute in that particular area. So let me know if you have any if you have any suggestions or questions. Thank you. So I think there is no question and suggestions. Then we will move forward. For this, I will give updates on select channels too. If you are interested, you can connect with me or ping me. Next is from Tharun. Actually, Tharun is not well today, so he's not joining. Let's go through his item. Zaran, do you have any review for this PR? Okay, it is more related to ESLint, right? Okay. So the part of the effort in this that Tarun is trying to make sure is we recently, ESLint recently made a new update for, I guess, 0.9 update. And in that update, we got some breaking changes. So in this update, Tarun is trying to make sure that the ESLint configuration are similar across projects and we are not failing for the new update. So I think this is an update from Tarun. As he is sick, so we will move forward. So if anyone have any review, they can check out the PR and give any. Easy. Do you want to discuss your item on Meshery server integration? Took too long. Iti, is she with us today? Don't think so. So I will go through the item. Shalom, I guess we were also discussing this yesterday. Did we figure out what was the issue? And I think Nitish was working on the part of the issue for everyone is like we have this integration test running for Meshery's PRs. And the issue is you can see that this integration test is taking around 5 hours, 58 minutes. It's around 6 hours. So it is trying to make sure that why it is taking 6 hours and why it is failing. So Shalok, maybe you would like to give update.
Yeah, so the issue Nitish Bhaiya and Saurabh were investigating. I think it would be better if Saurabh takes lead here because he knows more than me regarding this issue.
Okay, and the in this workflow, the integration tests are not completed fully. Actually, we have removed some of the test cases file, like we have to replace with the new Meshery CTL test file, and for that, this integration test is making long time. Means the API call is taking long enough, so that's the reason for failing of this. And still, I'm investigating, and Nitish Bhaiya has. I have contacted with him, and he'll be giving me more context on this. So yeah, I'll be updating after that.
Did you verify whether Meshery CTL system stop works correctly on your system?
Yeah, yes, the integration test fails after the for the performance command means the test coverage file which is producing text coverage.txt. It
Sorry,
is
sorry. Uzair asked that did you verify that the Meshery CTL stop command that needs to be run to stop the server, is it running on your local system? Is this command working
no,
fine?
no, I haven't tested.
Okay.
That should be the good starting point to identify the cause.
Yeah. Yes, could you please open the workflow file from the left hand side if you can? At the bottom left, bottom left. Yeah. So for anyone, if you scroll down, you see the on the right hand side the integration test is breaking. So inside the integration test, these are the commands that are run, and either of these one commands is failing. So we can see that the server is starting, everything is working fine. So something related to stop is breaking. Either the stop command is not executing, or the server is taking too long to start and the stop is already executed. Something in those sense is happening over there. So Saurabh or anyone else on the call, if you could find the exact issue. So the starting point would be good, as Uzair Bhaiya suggested, that you should run these commands directly on your local system and see if these commands works on locally. And if they do, then there's something related to timeout issue. So that could be the another approach that you can take.
Sure, sure.
Okay. So we discussed the part why it is taking too long time, right? And we figure out how we can fix it. Right? We also
We have an idea why it's happening, and I think we know how we can fix it. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So let's move to the. Shalok, would you like to go next, or still we should go?
Yeah, I can go. I can go. I won't be able to reach. Okay. There are so every night, as you know, there's this workflow inside Meshery, that is Meshery model generator. So this particular workflow, what it does is it fetches data directly from the spreadsheet, and then it maps. It basically generates the CRDs, that is custom resource definition, for each of these specific models, and then writes it to the file system, that is server mesh model folder. So, uh, if I want to give you what crux about what a model is, so basically, when you talk about model is nothing but a JSON file. I could show you over here. So yeah, so you see, this is a model. So this is just a JSON file that contains data of the particular model, like the name, the status, the ID, the host, and few SVGs and primary colors. So whenever Meshery runs, every time you run make server locally, there is basically these components are registered. So these are the components, these are registered. And for these components to be to successfully registered, you should contain specific data regarding the model, some specific schemas, and some other data that is basically mentioned over here. So these data, this is what a model is, and for registering a model successfully, we'll need a component. And you can visualize these components inside mesh map. You see the icon over here. So I'm currently not logged in properly. So yeah, and you can read these docs too that is shared in the chat. So these docs, this would give you more information about what a model is. And if you're trying to contribute to server or CLI, you should have a good knowledge about models and components and relationship, because this is what the server deals with. So it's just packaging the model in some form, sending it to a UI, and then the UI interprets it. So that's what the server and the concept of model is. So I was working on the model import command. So there's this command in Meshery, in Meshery CTL. Let's close my chat one second. Yeah. So I was working on a command that is Meshery CTL. So Meshery CTL model import, and then you provide in the file path of the model. So you can provide a file like this, or a whole directory like we saw in the server mesh model folder. So you can provide this whole directory. Uh, if it has a valid model.json file and a valid component, it would register, and you can dynamically generate the model's components and relationship, register them dynamically. So if you want to register new models or new relationship, you'll have to close the server. Before this command, you'll have to close the server, then you'll have to rerun the server with the new relationships, new JSON file. So with the help of this command, you can basically register any of your models dynamically. So I have my server running over here, as you can see. And if I just pass in, okay, I have it. Yeah. So if I pass in model import, and then any of the files. So in this case, I'm passing in the model.json file that is inside this directory. So you can see that for Istio base, this particular model.json, it consisted of a singular relationship. There were no components. There was only one relationship. And this relationship was of type H. So we dynamically registered this relationship. And now this relationship can be used inside mesh map, or it will be shown over here inside registry if I refresh the page. So yeah, on these notes, there was a Meshery CTL model export command too. So if I write in here, same way I write here Meshery CTL export, and then I give it a name of any of the models. Let's say I give again the Istio based model. So here we get a tar file. This is an OCI image of Istio base. So if I go inside this, so you can see this is a tar file. This is an OCI image. And if you open the OCI image, it's nothing but a model.json file that comprises of all the data that contained components, relationships, and everything. So in the UI as well, we have a button for the Meshery CTL model import command. So if you just pass in the star file directly, it would import, and it would show you a notification on the right hand side. Yes, like this. that it imported 30 components. So for Istio base, we had 30 components, so it imported all of them and their relationships. So this was what the command did and what I was working on. We still are missing an export button over here. I fixed everything that was missing in export command. So export command is working fine too. Only the export button is missing. And if I hopefully fix it in 1 hour or so, then we'll have this in the next Meshery release that will be happening today. Any questions?
Was there sort of any review?
Yeah, that is like, thank you, Shlok, for first of all, like covering the UI part as well as the Mr. CTL part, ensuring that both of the clients are updated. So is there any, so I was thinking that if we can utilize this command uh, inside the, basically adding a new test with for this command and also verifying. So currently the system for Meshery system of Meshery test is that we have some golden file, some hard coded entries, and based on that we try to match the response. So I was wondering that if you can use this command so in order to verify the functionality, we'll use this command Meshery import registry and the APIs that we have for Meshery server. We will verify that okay, whatever the whether there is a new entry inside the Meshery server registry, and if that is the case, then we can say that okay, the this command is working fine. And in this way, like we can also add a new test around this command because this is an uh, important part for Meshery. So if possible, you can in the same PR that you have for this functionality, you can add the test or you can work separately and be sure to add the test.
I'll work it on another PR because this PR is already very long and I haven't pushed the recent stages. So
Makes
it's
sense.
1400 something lines. So yeah, I'll do it in another PR. And any other questions regarding that? And the test idea was good, so I'll implement that.
Thank you, Shlok. Is there any other item that you have that you want to discuss?
Yeah, so I was basically working on this as well on the side. So this will be the new command that will be Meshery CTL model generate. So how I showed you this script here, this spreadsheet over here. So this does nothing but basically where we get the data from. This thing is we run this particular command that is Meshery CTL registry generate. So yeah, so this command is responsible for fetching the data from the spreadsheet and mapping it to the server mesh model folder. So currently there's only one way to generate the models, the server mesh model directory. There's only one way. You feed the data inside the spreadsheet and this spreadsheet will run and then it will generate the particular model. That's not pretty optimized because a user might just need one particular model. There's no need to generate the whole spreadsheet. So we were working on the lines of adding a new command that is Meshery CTL model generate that would just take a URL, a GitHub URL, this URL that we are talking about over here, this thing. In this case, it's an artifact hub, but we can provide any of the URLs. The supported type would be artifact hub, OCI, or GitHub. And then it would crawl through the directories, then generate the CRD. And after generating the CRD, it would register it. So this particular command won't store the data inside the file system. It would just directly register that particular model. And if a user wants the data, he can use the export command or the button inside the UI and the CLI. So I was working on this design and I would like some feedback regarding this.
Yeah, that is like a helpful functionality. Yeah, makes sense to add this. So what are the like available options to generate the model from? Like, is just that file reference, or it could be a model name inside the spreadsheet that you showed, or only URL?
So the possible options would be what we will. Well, firstly, we'll start with the CLI, and the possible options would be you provide in a URL rather than providing in a link, a directory or something. So in this case, if you provide a GitHub URL to, let's say, this whereabouts. So if you provide in this particular URL, then the command would basically crawl through the whole GitHub directory, find the CRD, then generate those components, register those components, and then it will show inside the QI and the server. So firstly, we are moving towards the URL, and then we'll see what enhancements we could do.
Okay, thank you, Shlok. I don't think so I have any questions. So if anyone have question, please feel free to drop in the chat. It doesn't matter how it sounds. It always sometimes sounds weird. But okay, you can ask any question. It doesn't matter if you're new to call. Okay, so I will share my screen. Thank you, Shlok, for the update. Let's move to the other item, which is from Janice. Janice, would you like to share about your update on Meshery UI E2E test and Docker environment for Playwright test? You can
Okay,
share the screen.
I will share my screen. Okay, can you see it?
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Currently, our test is filing, but silently. So I tried to add some error handling, and it got an error, but it's still passing there. So basically, the problem is there the email and password on out is not available, and also the token is not being read in the environment variable. So that is the core problem, but I don't know why it's still getting checked, but it's already throw the hard error on that, and also it's filing the paragraph test as well, but it's still passing. I don't know. Still exploring about the problem now. Any feedback on this?
Aren't we using the token that is available inside the GitHub environment? So basically, a secrets dot provider token. Is it still failing after using that token? Or
Yeah, I tried to adding the token as well in the GitHub core, uh, and it's still filing as well.
so
Will you ping like Abid in CI channel about the token is failing and like what can be the issue? The issue is like the tokens are not available or tokens are not valid.
I think it's empty because I checked Medu's the environment if it's empty or not, and throw an error for it. So yeah, it's empty both on the username password and the provider token.
Do these tokens are working on other places? Like are we using these tokens on other places too? I was just trying to confirm if we are using.
I think we use that not exactly in this Meshery repository, but Meshery.io repository uses provider token, and the provider token is like org like is tied to org. So if Meshery.io is able to use the provider token, then Meshery repository should also be used to can also use this provider token. So I'm not sure like why in this workflow it is failing because the Meshery.io workflows pass.
I think it would be nice if you tag Abid in the CI channel. He will help you to make sure that tokens are available for the GitHub. Is there any other item, Jaren, you would like to discuss?
Yeah, currently for the Docker, I also add another version on the Docker file from the Docker folder. So I need it for the playground. What I did here is I just changed the base image to Alpine. So all here is Alpine base and Node.js using Node.js Alpine as well. Oh, yeah.
So in this with this Docker file, you are ensuring that the tests run inside Docker environment, or what does this new Docker file or new Docker environment do?
I think it's not running on the Docker environment. So because here is still using Mac server, I think.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So you're migrating to Docker environment. Okay.
Yeah, for this Docker, I use using the same, but just change the Ubuntu to Alpine base image. So it's a bit faster for building the Docker file. And I skip also the telemetry from Node.js. Which is here. Yeah, here. I skip ASCII and the telemetry, disable the telemetry. But I make it to the different file, so it's not affect the deployment, the release on the Docker file.
Have you
So I
reached
think
PR for, yeah, have you reached PR for review?
yeah, I already make it in one PR, or maybe I should make two different type PR, maybe.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, okay. It would be nice if we have can help with review of the Docker update. Okay, so Jaren, would you like to share about any more update?
I think it's not for me.
Okay.
Feedback.
So I think we already discussed the part where it was taking too long time. I was just trying to make sure that we didn't miss any other item. Is Vivek with? No? No. Okay, so I will move to the other items, which is one from me, which is call for volunteers for Playwright E2E tests. So for those who are new, they might be not aware of what this is. We previously in the GitHub repo, in the Meshery repo, in the part of UI, we used to use Cypress test for E2E testing. However, it turns out that we are not fully able to either use the capability of Cypress test because it was not fulfilling the requirement of our project. So we are started migrating to the Playwright framework for the E2E testing. And the part in which Jaren is working on is to make sure that we are doing that properly and the tests are properly passing. So there is a lot of room for E2E tests. So if you are interested in writing E2E test, there is a lot of room. I think we also have an issue on which we are tracking. I don't have the link right now, but you can search on Mishimushi repo for E2E testing and connect with Jaren if you would like to contribute on that part. And yeah, there is a lot of UI part in which E2E tests need to be written. So this is call for volunteers. So if you are interested, you can let me know in the chat or you can also let us know in the Slack channel. So I will wait for 5 seconds if anybody would like to raise hand right now or later. It doesn't matter. Thank you, Saintil, for sharing the link. Thank you, Ayush. Yeah, sure. Do give it a try. You can start with small issues to work on. So next update is from Saurabh. Saurabh, would you like to share about your update on update Meshery workflow on
Sure.
GitHub Action?
Sure. Let me share my screen. Yeah, the update regarding this is that this workflow, which is Meshery CTL CI workflow, which needed the GitHub action to be replaced with the latest version of it. I have replaced that and updated to the latest version, but still there are some other workflows which need this kind of enhancement. So we taking the reference from this workflow, any other contributor maybe after opening the issue can update to the latest version for the actions. And yeah, this is the update regarding. Any question regarding about this?
Just to make sure, did you double check the workflow running it locally?
Yes, I have checked with my forked version of this.
Okay. Can you scroll down for me? Is there a specific reason that we changed from? So it's in the new release, I guess, that instead of master we use V5
Yes,
or
according to the documentation with the new release of the action, it has been replaced that we need to point to the as a V4 instead of the master. Do make sure that to refer to the particular documentation before making the replacement.
okay, so means it's a call for volunteer for
Yes,
everyone, I guess.
yes,
Yeah. So if you could inside the Meshery CI channel, if you could reference this PR and the
sure,
docs together.
sure, sure.
Any other questions, anyone? So okay. One more thing for anyone that's missing the context. So it's just we are upgrading the GitHub workflows. So before they were on the old versions, and now we are just upgrading. So it's nothing much than mostly a word change. So anyone who is looking for a good first issue to work on, you could use this PR as a reference and then start upgrading workflows. So there are nearly 80 to 90 workflows in consistent in every repo, that is Meshery layer 5, Meshery IO, Meshkit, and there are other repos that we have. So it's a good first issue and a good one. You'll get to know something more. Yeah.
Thank you, Shlogan Saurabh. It would be nice if either of you can document it properly in an issue and provide a better reference like how they can start and give a response so that they can directly start working on it.
Sure, sure, I'll do that.
Please drop the link in the Slack channel so that we can start.
Yes. Sort of just before documenting, if documenting takes a long time, so you could open up a discussion forum and then you can link that as well, along with the documentation. So documentation should be there, but if a discussion forum is there, so people need just quickly look at it as well.
Okay, sure. Thank you.
Okay, so we have covered most of our items today. I will wait for 5 more seconds if we have missed something that we should discuss, if there is any urgent item that we should discuss. Otherwise, we will do a wrap up and we will discuss our standing agenda plan. Okay, so I will move to the Meshery test plan. So Meshery test plan is a spreadsheet in which we are tracking the updates regarding the test going on in various areas. In Meshery org, there are various projects and there are various tests running both in the front end, both in the back end. So this spreadsheet tracks all that update. And if you are interested in contributing any part of the area, maybe writing test for Golang or maybe writing test for E2E test for with Playwright. So if you are interested in any part of the area, you can check out this repository and click on that particular area and check out that GitHub repository and how the tests are running. I think we used to have one more repository in which we were properly documented what was expecting of particular test. I will share that link if I will find that in the Meshery CI channel. But this spreadsheet gives an overall overview of every test that we have. In case if you find something that is interest of area and is not covered in this spreadsheet, please be vocal about that and ensure that in the community managers and others will help you to make sure that spreadsheet is updated with that and connect with that maintainer. In case, let's say, if the part of is in the Meshery UI and you are trying to write a E2B test, and if you need any kind of help, what is expected from that particular component, you can pay maintainers of the UI, and they will help you to make sure that particular component have a proper E2 test. So if you are interested, do make sure you are giving an update or be raising your hand. Okay. So I will wait for 5 more seconds if anyone have any questions on this particular area. I think we missed one thing, there, which was like the staging playground was
Yeah,
it was update from
Sangram, right?
So do we have any update? Like I think yeah.
Yeah, I checked like why if there is any problem. Like, I was like I don't have any further leads. Like I tried assessing in the inside that environment and figuring out that whether edge releases are being deployed or not. But like the channel is still set to edge, but I'm not sure like why it is happening because the workflow does not fail, like it passes correctly. I don't have like any other further pointers.
Okay, so thank you that we will continue our conversation on this. Right. Right. So considering there is no urgent item and no volunteer right now for the test run, you can sound off anytime in the Slack channel. We will wrap up today's call. Thank you everyone for joining us today. We discussed a lot of items and mostly we discussed all of the items in our agenda item. It was a productive meeting and maybe we will see you in the Monday's big website meeting if we have missed any other item that you want to discuss. Thank you everyone for joining us today. See you 2 weeks after for the next call. Okay, thank you everyone. Bye. Have a nice day. Have a good night anywhere in the part of the world you are living. Bye.